Hello and welcome to the Tin Man. I'm your host, Ethan Zimmerman. This is an excerpt from a longer video that I did reading chapters 13 through 18 of Genesis from the Bible. This is just chapter 17. This chapter, I gotta admit, I was not very mature while recording this. It is almost entirely genitalia jokes. So, with that warning, without further ado, here is chapter 17 of Genesis. Genesis chapter 17. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, when he was 99 years old, the Lord appeared unto Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty God, walk before me and be thou perfect. Okay, so like he's spoken to God before though. Like this isn't a new thing. He's definitely he's had conversations with God in the past. Um, but I digress. And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and I will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Neither shall thy name be any more called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham, for a father of many nations I have made thee. And I will make thee exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee in their generations, for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee, and to thy seed after thee. That's a lot of these, and there's still more to go. But I was right. Abram is Abraham. I just didn't know that he got a name change. That's kind of cool. Um, that's interesting, yeah, because I had my suspicions. If you listen back to last week's episode with Dane, in the middle of it, I stopped the whole thing because I see something on the side that says Abraham leads it when it was still talking about Abram. But I'm glad to know that my suspicions were correct. Um, so that's cool. And we're going. There's still more to the. All right. And I will give unto thee and thy seed after thee, and the land wherefore thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. And God said unto Abraham, Thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore, thou and thy seed after thee in their generations. This is my covenant which ye shall keep between me and you. They're just like repeating. Oh, wait, no, this is different. This is when they're talking about cutting kids' dicks, genital mutilation. This is my covenant, which ye shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised, and ye shall circumcise the flesh of their foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant betwixt me and you. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man child in your generations. He that is born in thy house, that he is bought with thy money, must needs be circumcised, and my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. Um, so he's saying that everyone should be circumcised, right? Like not everyone, but like all of his descendants should be circumcised. But there also is the thing that says uh, that he is born in thy house or bought with the money of any stranger, which is not of thy seed. So again, it sounds like you're supposed to like cut the foreskin off people that you buy, if I'm interpreting that correctly. And another interesting thing that's kind of cool and quirky, I think, is that God's covenant here is dependent on mutilation, like genital mutilation. Like his whole thing here is being, yes, it shall be everlasting, um, but it has to be after you cut off the tip of your dick. No more. If you don't cut off that skin, we're all bad. If you're not a Montgomery, uh, if you're a Montgomery, it doesn't work. You gotta not be a Montgomery. You gotta have that foreskin cut off. Let's see. Yeah, so this is, yeah, he's like, yeah, you gotta be saved. In order to be saved, you gotta cut off your dick. That's it. And the uncircumcised man child whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. He hath broken my covenant. It's not his decision, dear Lord. It's not. Like, if his parents decide not to cut off like his dick skin, it's not. Why is he punished for it? Like, God seems to have this thing for like punishing people for things they didn't do. Like, I'm sorry because I'm a Montgomery, because I still, personally, me, I still have my foreskin. Does that mean that I am cut off from my people and I shall not be saved? My soul shall be cut off because I've broken your covenant somehow? Do I need to like remedy that? Should I get out the old kitchen scissors? Like, holy fuck. There's no way that this particular thing is getting like, ooh, if this doesn't get flagged, big yikesies. All right, let's are we gonna move on, or is this whole like thing gonna be about dick cutting? Um, oh my god. Okay, this is terrible. Um, where am I? And God it's and God said unto Abram, As for Sarai thy wife, thou shalt not uh, call her Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name. Why? Why is he like, yes, I'm just gonna change your name after 99 years, Abram. You will now be called Abraham. Like there does not seem to be any point of this. He's just like, yes, you will have many kids, and because of that, you're going to be named Abraham. Um, I wonder if he's going to say anything about Hagar, the woman from last chapter, who actually is, bearing the children. Of course, he's changing Sarai to Sarah, even though she's not having kids, which seems to be most of the measurable worth of a woman in those days. Um, Oh, it looks like he is going to give her kids, because the next verse, verse 16, says, "And I will bless her, and give thee a son, and and I will bless her, and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be her of her." And then Abram fell on his face and laughed, and said in his heart, "Shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarah that is 90 years old bear?" Um, there's a 10-year difference. That's kind of questionable. Although I guess at that age it probably doesn't make a difference, especially if people are living to be like 900, the pre-Moses days or pre-Noah days. Apologies. Um, what would an adequate like age gap be? Like in the current time, like at my age, I'm 17. I could barely see myself being with anyone that's like like I definitely would never go younger. That's messed up, bro. Like I would definitely not go younger. I doubt that dating a 16-year-old would be plausible, and I may go older to like maybe 18, but again, probably not. Like especially just societally, like developmentally, we're still very different. Um, and I get that it gets better when you go older. Like my parents have a 5-year age gap, and like I can see 5 years is totally acceptable. Um, and I guess when you get older, if it's like a 65-year-old with a 75-year-old, like that's fine. But especially if it was at that time, like you don't want a 15-year-old and a 25-year-old, right? Um, so I just wonder to what extent it's fine. Like if people are regularly living to 900, is it like, oh yeah, a 900 and an 800-year-old, like are those compatible, or is that still too much? Because you definitely wouldn't have an 120-year-old with a 20-year-old. Like that would not be okay. Um, I don't know. This is my baseless ramblings. This is what you signed up for. This and talking about dicks, because that's what this chapter is. Um, do do do. And Abram said unto God, "O Ishmael, that might live before thee." I guess that's just saying that Ishmael's should like be a follower. And God said, "Sarah, thy wife, shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac, and I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him, but only as long as he cuts off his foreskin." Um, I really like the name Isaac, like personally, like that's complete, like Isaac and Isaiah. My own name is Hebrew, and so are my siblings. But I don't know the name. I guess it's Isaiah in particular. I've always really liked, but the name Isaac as well. Oh wait, are we gonna get to the Binding of Isaac? Not the video game. The soundtrack for that is based. That's very cool. But like where God says, Abraham, you have to kill your son, and he goes, okay, I'm gonna go kill my son, because that's quirky and cool and fun. I think I like that in a God. That's what a benevolent creator should be. Um, do do do. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee, behold, I have blessed him, and I will make him fruitful, and multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation. But my covenant I will establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year. And he led off talking with him, and God went up from Abraham. And Abraham took Ishmael his son, and all that were born in his house, and all that were bought with his money, and every male among the men of Abraham's house, and circumcised the flesh of their foreskin in the selfsame way as God had done unto him. Wait, when did God cut off Abraham's foreskin? Did I miss something? Did I miss this? What's going on? He's basically like, hey, get your boys, get your boys. We're going. It's penis inspection day at school. Snip, snip. Holy fuck. And Abraham was 90 years old and 9 when he circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. And Ishmael, his son, was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. And the selfsame day was Abraham circumcised, and Ishmael his son, and all the men of his house born in the house, and bought with the money of stranger, were circumcised with him. He's just getting everybody. He's gathering the whole town. He's making a day out of it. They're all jaunting down to the little dick guillotine, going chop chop. I apologize, you guys. You signed up for this. This is the dick episode. Fuck, what are they doing with all that skin? Are they gonna make a coat out of it? Make some soft gloves? You guys have every right to cancel me. Fucking Christ. That's the end of chapter 17. Thank you for joining me on this dick cutting journey. Um, that was a longer chapter, but that was I feel like that was more full of substance. It's likely that this next chapter will probably be my last because we're coming up close on an hour here. Okay, what a wild ride that was. Thank you for listening to me just make terrible joke after terrible joke from chapter 17 of Genesis. If you liked this video and want to see more just dick jokes, like just only dick jokes, go ahead and like that button. Hit that subscribe button faster than Abraham was willing to cut off his own dick skin. This is what you signed up for. You're quite welcome. Again, thank you for watching. If you liked it, do all the YouTuber things. Hit the like, subscribe, comment, share, yada yada. If you want to see more dick jokes or like the shorter chapters, let me know down in the comments if you want me to keep doing this. All in all, that's it. This has been The Tin Man. I've been your host, Ethan Zimmerman, and it's really only been dick jokes, honestly. But I'll see you around.